we breathe the same air and drink the same water, walk the same earth and kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, just you and I, you and I. Cause we are one. I am you, you and me. We are one. And in that unity, we all live in harmony, and peace will come. Cause we are one. We are one. We part of everything we see. We are part of everything we know, we see, cause we are one. We are one. We are one.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Revealing Experience. Please give Jim some love.
Yay, and Cole.
As you always do so lovingly. And Cole, welcome, Cole, again. Cole hangs out with us, and we're always happy to have him. I'm Sunny Daye, and I'm really happy to see y'all. Happy Wednesday. Okay, let's sing, yeah? Let's sing welcome, and welcome those still coming in, and welcome the person to your left and right. Here we go. Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy and cheer. So
come on in,
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 come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in,
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 come on in. We welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy and cheer. So come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in. We welcome you. Come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in. We welcome you. Let go,
let go,
be free.
be free.
Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here, spreading love, joy and cheer. So come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in,
come on in.
we
We welcome welcome you.
Come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Nice, everybody. Ah. So please sing Reveal with us, with me. It's in your program if you don't know the words. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. The peace, reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. The joy, reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. Good to see you. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Peace. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Joy. Every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the love in me. Thank you.
Revealing the love, the joy, the peace that is God, that is within each and every one of us. For there truly is only one power and one presence, and that power and that presence is God, and that is love and joy and peace. And I know that this evening is one in which each of us deepens our awareness that we are one with our diversity, with our multiplicity. We are all one, for we are one in God. And knowing that, I am filled with such a sense of grace and calm, joy and peace. For when God is all there is, truly all is well. For my reading this evening, I picked something from the impersonal life. And before I say that, I want to thank our fine musicians. Sonny, such fun to sing with you, and Jim and Cole. Thank you for setting the tone, creating the circle, the bowl in which this experience happens. I'm reading from the impersonal life, and the first person is God or the divine. And the title of the chapter or the reading is My Idea. You have been told that the earth and all things belonging to it are but the outer manifestations of my idea, which is now in the process of being thought into perfect expression. You have been shown that my idea is responsible for creating all things, and that it is both the cause and the reason for all manifestations, yourself and your brothers and sisters included, all of which have been thought into existence by me, the one original thinker and creator. We will now trace the course of that idea from the beginning, through its various stages of earth expression, as well as the process of my thinking that idea into its present state of manifestation. In the beginning, at the dawn of a new cosmic day, when the word consciousness was just awakening and the stillness of cosmic night yet prevailed, I, the thinker, conceived my idea. This, my idea of myself in manifestation in a new condition called earth expression, I saw completely pictured in the mirror of my omniscient mind. In this mirror, I saw the real earth shining forth brilliantly in the cosmos, a perfect sphere where all the infinite phases, attributes, and powers of my divine nature were finding perfect expression through the medium of angels of light, living messengers of my will, my word in the flesh, and even as it is in the celestial world of the eternal. I saw myself manifesting outwardly as nature, and my life as the vivifying and evolving principle back of all manifestation. I saw love, the divine creative power, as the animating and vitalizing force back of all life, and my desire to give perfect expression to that love as the potential and real cause and reason of the birth of my idea. All this I saw mirrored in my all-seeing and all-knowing mind, which could see and reflect only the soul of things or their reality. Therefore, this that I saw pictured in my mind was the real earth, in fact, its beginning, its conception into cosmic being. Now my consciousness is the inner essence of all space and all life. It's the real substance of my all-comprehending and all-including mind, whose informing and vitalizing center is everywhere, and its limit and circumference nowhere. Within the realm of my mind alone, I live and move and have my being. It both contains and fills all things, and its every vibration and manifestation is but the expression of some phase of my being. And now, let us see and hear what Reverend Sunshine has to say about unity and multiplicity.
Thank you, Candace, for that beautiful prayer and that great reading. Hi, everybody. What a great time to be here. Yeah. It's a great time to be on the planet and a great time to be in spiritual community, to begin to recognize the one power, the one life that is expressing itself beautifully and magnificently as the person sitting in your chair. Okay, my talk is done. No. I know, we have cookies and refreshments waiting in. If we could only master that simple knowing that God is expressing magnificently right now as the person sitting in your chair, and that there is nothing else outside of this one life, this one power, this one presence, and that there is no otherness outside of this grand divine idea that is God, that is life, that is love, that is whatever it is that we call it, this intelligence, this infinite intelligence, this power and this presence that has created everything out of itself, that there is nothing outside of it, and that it is our life, and that we are expressing this perfect divine life in this human expression. You know, in the reading that Candace read, it reminds me of like a good movie. I was sitting there with my eyes closed, just listening and taking it in. Because one of the great things is that as the practitioners come forward every week, they get to read whatever they want. And they get to pick and choose the reading. And what I know is that it is already divine and that it is already included in part of our experience together. And as I was taking in that reading, it reminds me of like a good movie where I want to know more about the character. I want to get into the character's head, what the character is thinking, what she or he believes in, and what motivates him or her to do what he or she does. What was the life experience beforehand that brought this person to this pivotal position to where they do whatever it is that they do? And as I was listening to the reading and listening how the author was simply talking about the great I am, creating everything out of itself for a greater self-expression, for a greater knowing, for a greater truth. That it created everything that it might continue to express and express fully here on planet Earth, which is really in the mind of God. That's some sci-fi stuff for me right there. Planet Earth is really not planet Earth, but planet Earth is simply in the mind of God. It is contained, everything is contained in the mind of God. And in today's reading, as we begin and as we have continued to look at the science of mind in 1 year, today's reading is about unity and multiplicity, speaking specifically about how we tend to separate this is God, this is me. This is life, this is something else. I'm only human, God is spiritual. I make mistakes and I'm imperfect, God is perfect. And how we continue to, I have to say it, because it's the word that came to me. How we continue to abuse ourselves with the lies of separation, with the lies that there is some otherness and that we cannot fully be God expressing in a magnificent and powerful way. That we continue to abuse and misuse ourselves into thinking that we're so little or so insignificant that we could not possibly be the life of God. And all along since the beginning, since January 1st, as we have begun our reading over and over and over again, the textbook, which we get to study, has really pointed to this place of if we can really know this one simple truth, God is all there is, period. God is all there is. That then there's this equal sign that's automatic. If God is all there is and I am, then I am that which God is. And over again, since January, we've begun to really see how the media, society, our friends, politics, our work, have moved us to this place of mediocrity, into thinking that no, we cannot possibly be the life of God. Therefore, we come to spiritual community and we read our text, we study our text, we come to classes, we begin to learn and absorb the truth, which is really us going back to the truth. Because what we have learned and what we have absorbed up until then has been a lie. And as we continue to abuse ourselves with these lies, what we're doing is diminishing the life of God, if you will, as if that were even possible, which it isn't. But your life is a life of God, and if you continue to tell yourself that you are something other than that, then you're going to continue to get what you're getting. And if you're not happy with what you're getting, misery, mediocrity, lack, limitation, doubt, fear, broken relationships, heartache, pain, discomfort. Wah, wah, wah. Reminds me of the commercial where the little lady, cartoon lady is always, it's the sun is shining everywhere else except around where she is. She's got this dark cloud, gloomy cloud just kind of like hanging over her. And that's what happens when we continuously lie to ourselves. When we lie to ourselves, when we tell ourselves that we are something other than the way that life is expressing in its beautiful and magnificent way. The reading today is about unity and multiplicity, meaning that that life is in everything. That life is in everything. We already know that there's life in an atom, that there's vibration, that even though, something may look solid like a chair or wood or even a stone, that there's vibration, that there's life. That energetic is life. That energetic is God. That's the way that God is expressing itself. Not necessarily just in the human being or the animal or the ocean, but in each and everything, God is expressing itself as that. Because in the beginning, if you will, because there never really was a beginning, time is just a man-made construct. But in the beginning, as we call it, there was only ever God. And God created everything out of itself. Therefore, everything has that potentiality, that life essence. In the acorn, there is not only a tree. In the acorn, there is a forest. There is the forest. In one acorn, there is a forest. There is that life, that potentiality. That is the same truth for and about us. That right where we are, that God essence is who and what we are. And I love the reading, the part in the reading today, because just in case there's some of us, and I doubt it here in this spiritual community, I doubt we find anybody like this, but just in case there's some of us who may be thinking, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm not pretty enough or young enough, or my figure, or this or that, or my hair, or the color of my skin, or my lips, or it's just not, like Vogue magazine cover people, or whatever, the newest and latest and greatest. I'll have you know that as you continue to batter and beat yourself that you're not that what you're saying is, God is not enough as me. That God is not beautiful enough as me. Versus, wow, this body, this vehicle is God. Is God. This flesh is God. It is one of the wonderful ways that God expresses. In today's reading, it was page 102 to 104. Ernest Holmes reminds us that we should not separate life from the living. We should not separate spirit from matter. We should not separate spirit from matter. Meaning that life energetic, that which quote unquote animates the body, that spirit, we should not separate spirit from matter. That it is the same. That God is spirit and matter. That we should not separate those two. That we should not separate life from the living. That it is all God. Or that we should not separate divine principle from a universal creation. God is all in all. God is. That is, God is and is in everything. God is and God is in everything. So God is everything and God is in everything and everything is in God. So our life is that life that God is. And to the degree in which we accept that even more, and I know you probably go, Sunshine, didn't you give this talk last week? Didn't I hear this before? And every day we keep reading a new page. It's not like I'm reading from the same page over and over again. But let's say I did do the exact same talk last week. How many of us know, to an increased degree, this truth about ourselves? It's quiet in here now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, so if this continues to be the theme of what is being said, then how is it that I am absorbing this truth? How is it that I am taking this truth on? How is it that I am applying this truth? How is it that I am practicing this truth? What is it that I'm doing so that I might know my life as the life of God more than I did last Wednesday night when I showed up? What are we doing? Spiritual community? How is it that we are taking the words off the page and beginning to live them and beginning to anchor them in our mind and in our consciousness to such a degree that our life demonstrates that we know that our life is the life of God more than it was last week? Or are we? I like coming here Wednesday nights. We got a cool gig going on. Great hugs, great listening to the stories and watching the lives unfold. But it would be a mistake on my part if I did not call you to action. If I did not insist that we continue to grow as a spiritual community. If I did not, come on, usher us along just a little bit more and call to question our daily spiritual practice. Because, I mean, it's cool. We could come and sit here every Wednesday night and be with each other. I love it. And yet, my calling is to grow community, to grow us, not to grow us necessarily in numbers, though that always looks good on paper, but I'm talking about to grow us to where we really begin to take the words off of the pages and we really begin to grow in our understanding and our effectiveness, where we really begin to know beyond the shadow of a doubt more and more that our life is that life that God is. That because of that because we know that more and more, that we begin to walk and talk and live and demonstrate that this is our truth. And that what begins to happen is that which is no longer needed, that which has been a crutch, that which has been a lie begins to simply shed and fall off of us and disappear into the nothingness from which it came. But unless there is someone calling us to greatness and reminding us that greatness is our nature and that greatness is who we are, that God is who we are, then I'm just simply rehearsing to be a great public speaker, and that's not what I'm here for. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's about taking this journey together. It's about taking these opportunities and these gems and really beginning our spiritual practice and really enhancing whatever spiritual practice we already have in place to such a degree that we know it. Because let's face it, everything around us, billboards, movies, television, everything around us tells us that there's an us and a them, instead of the unity that Ernest Holmes is talking about. That in the multiplicity, that in the diversity, that in the way that we express, That this is the wonderful way and the palette and the beautiful way that God is expressing. And that when we curse ourselves or curse others, we're simply cursing ourselves. We're cursing God. Because there is nothing or no one that is not that life that God is. Everything, all of it, is the life of God. All of it is God. No exceptions. I had the great opportunity to be with a great civil rights leader yesterday, Reverend James Lawson Jr., whose whole life has been dedicated to nonviolence, and he taught those young college students how to do the nonviolent protest and sit-in during the civil rights movements in the 1960s. And I think he's Methodist, right? Methodist? And as a Methodist, he spoke in his language, and it was the language of science of mind philosophy. And it's so funny because the moment that I do what he said to do, which is been part of my practice, which is part of our practice, is to remember that there's no us and them. It was just a language of the heart. He said that no one should feel less than anyone, whether it's because of our race or our gender or our age, our sexual orientation, our abilities, our physical and mental and emotional abilities, that there is no such thing as an undocumented person, that we are God expressing beautifully and magnificently. Excuse me, God, can I see your papers, please? Are you documented or undocumented? I mean, really, he was saying that there's no us and them. That how is it that we as the life of God can really form our lips to curse another individual or to even suggest that you are less than me or greater than I am? But instead, softening that heart space, recognizing that our life is that life of love, that our life is that life eternal, that our life is that life of God, and that each and every life is that life too. And that we have our being and expression in God. And there's nothing, no thing that can separate us from the life that God is. There's no place in my body that you can point to, or in your own body that you can point to and say, my life ends here and God's life begins here. It is an impossibility. And yet, we face and are faced every day with this idea and this notion that we're only human, born to make mistakes, that we're only human, that we're incapable of doing these amazing feats, or that we're only human, and so don't expect too much. And as I've had the pleasure of watching some of these humans in the Olympics, snowboarding and flipping and ice skating, and some of the contortions and some of the things that they do, I think to myself, look at me. I look good as that ice skater. I didn't know I could snowboard so daggone good. And other people would go, look at God. And they're one and the same. That's the unity. Look at God expressing so freely, so magnificently, so beautifully. And though we might not be Olympic athletes, we too have a calling. There is a song in our own hearts, in our own minds, that we're here to sing, that we're here to express. There is something that is specifically for you, for God as you to bring to us. We're that mirror and that reflection. We are that reminder that right where you are, God is. When we are on point and in our game, when we are like so in our A game, our light shines so brightly that people go, wow, what, did you get a new haircut? Did you get a new love in your life? Did you hit the lottery? Like, what's up? What's going on? What's happening? And it's like, wow. What it is that my spiritual practice, my knowing, is so anchored and I'm so on it that God as me is simply shining and allowing others not to be blinded by the light, but to illumine that is the same truth for them as well. When you're in your spiritual practice, when you're on your game, when you've been in classes and you've been studying and you're doing your meditation, your prayer work, you're doing your contemplation, when your affirmations are totally working for you and people see you in spiritual community or see you at work or see you in the park or wherever it is that you may go, you're simply bearing witness to the truth, not that I know who I am, but I know who I am and I know who you are too. You are that light that God is. You are that life of God. And to the degree in which we accept that this is our truth, then we have experience and we get to experience the freedom from all discord. Each and every one of us is a beautiful expression of the one life. Period. God is right where you are. You're no more God because you're taller or less God because you're shorter. The full potentiality of this love essence, this beauty, this divine creativity, this clarity, this intelligence is living powerfully in, through, and as you now. And to the degree in which you tap into that and you awaken it because it's there, to the degree in which you unite with it and know it for yourself, to that degree, you get to live your full and genuine life. And the cool thing is that if we don't want to, we don't have to. We could come here and hang out and eat strawberries. Thank you, Rich. But I think that because we take the time to get in our vehicles or to carpool and come here on a Wednesday night and to hang out and to sit and listen, I tend to believe that it's more than just coming to hang out. I tend to believe that there's something that is calling you to some greatness. And it takes a little, what my mentor calls work play. It takes a little work play. It takes some dedication, some time, some energy of us really focusing on knowing this truth so that we can play freely in life. So that we might feel the bliss and that we might know and live joyfully moving forward. So answer the call, beloved. Just do it. Make it happen. What else y'all need to tell me? What else do I need to tell you to get it done? What are some other sayings? Get her done. Right? So we're going to do that right now. By taking some time to go into the silence and know this truth for ourselves. We're going to just empty our laps. And we're going to take this into our quiet time. And that is right out of today's reading. So close is the union of creation with the Creator that it is impossible to say where one begins and the other one leaves off. So close is the union of creation with the Creator that it is impossible to say where one begins and the other one leaves off. And that is because there is no separation. There's only the one power, the one presence, the one life that is God, that is expressing beautifully and magnificently as each and every one of us right now. And as we go into our time of silence for just a few minutes, let us use this time wisely to consecrate, to dedicate, to make sacred our own commitment to our own spiritual practice, to knowing this simple truth that right where I am, God is. That God is expressing beautifully and magnificently as my life. Therefore, that which is true of God is true of me. The joy that God is, I am. The peace that God is, I am. The love that God is, I am. The abundance that God is, I am. All that God is living in me. And we tap into that even now. My life is the life of God.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me. And I'm grateful like I've never been before.
So are we just going to let it go to voicemail? Or we're going to answer the call? The call is simply for our highest good. The call is simply God calling and waking itself up, saying, remember who you really are. The greatness, the allness, that great potentiality. That's what's calling us. To recognize the simple truth that our life is the life of God. That we are the way God is expressing beautifully and magnificently on planet Earth right now. So for this and so much more, we give thanks that we've used this time wisely and dedicated it to the knowing of this truth just a little bit more. And that as we emerge from our time in the silence, that we emerge different and changed for the better. We emerge answering the call. Yes, I remember. Yes, I want to know. Yes, I want to live from this place of fully knowing that my life is a life of the great divine one. And that nothing separates me from the life of God. This is our truth. We allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Y'all look different. You look like something happened. Something happened in that silent time. How wonderful. It's our conscious giving time. Time where we continue to stay conscious, awake, alert, and aware. I invite our ushers to come forward at this time. And as our ushers are coming forward, I just want to thank you in advance for that which you have brought to this spiritual community to share. And one of the things that I know about giving is that we cannot outgive what life has already given to us. And so though we might attempt to, it is an impossibility. However, I know that gratitude, when we give from a place of gratitude and we give from a place of our overflow and we give from a place of I want to give and I want to show my gratitude and I want to support the spiritual community so that it is here not only for me, but it is here for many others. So that we might continue to live stream and have great music and continue to do the classes and have a space where anyone can come and recognize and know the truth for themselves. So I simply invite you to give from that place. Not from a place of obligation or, uh-oh, the basket's going to pass, I better put something in. No. Just give from that place of gratitude, of I give freely because so much has been given to me, and I give to support what we have here, that we might be a blessing unto the world. So we simply take a moment to bless our gifts, our tithes, our offerings, that which fills these baskets, knowing that Seaside is greatly benefited from it, and that Seaside also takes 10% and also continues this outflow. So not only are you a blessing to us, but we are indeed a blessing unto the greater community. And so it is this act of redistributing our good, in which we are simply thankful. We are thankful that we're self-supporting through our own contributions, and that we continue to grow and unfold, and that we continue to see how richly blessed we are and how abundant we are, and we give from that place. And so because I know that we give from a place of thanksgiving and a place of gratitude, I simply bless these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, knowing that we use them for good, and as they fill the baskets, our hearts are indeed filled. It is so, and so it is. Go forth, ushers. Appreciate your service, beloved. Thank you so much. And as you give, you get. And so today, you get to hear the beautiful music of Cole, of Sonny, and Jim Bianchi. So please just lay your gaze over by our musicians and enjoy their gift to you.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing, and I pray don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. Someday we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. One day, all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, oh, oh.
I'll be praying for, I'll be praying for, I'll be praying for,
No more,
praying for.
no more, no more wars, no more wars. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Cole Miller, Jim Bianchi, and Sunny Daye. That was great. I like it. Well, we have a few minutes. This is our opportunity in spiritual community where you get to reveal some truth of your own. What I know is that everyone is a revealer of truth. And so this is a time where I come to you and you get an opportunity to simply talk about for a moment or so something that was sparked within you, an aha, something that you're going to take with you or practice with you the rest of the week, something that was said or sung or read or prayed or something that came from our time in the silence that is moving you to your greatness. And so I'm going to come into the audience, into our community, and simply open it up for anyone who has something that they'd like to reveal. I know deep, dark secrets, though. Hello, beloved.
Hi there.
Tell us who you are, please.
I'm Janice Hope, and that nothing separates me from the life of God. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty powerful right now in my life. And I've had some challenges, and I've just been knowing the truth for myself and my husband. We've been going through all sorts of interesting challenges to say, is this real or is it not real? And I just say, no, I know. It's clear. Everything's clear. Everything's good. Everything's clear. Everything's good. So we just keep checking things off the list. You know, melanoma, boom, gone. This gone, that gone. I mean, it's just like knowing beyond this little humanness that can feel so at the effect of what it could be that could be not shining light fully. And so I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful for your message, and I'm grateful for that knowingness, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And as a spiritual community, we also know that you know the truth, that you and your husband are right there. God is your very life. So thank you for that. We have time for another. Hello, beloved. Welcome.
My name is Maria Steinman, and what touched me at the beginning that you said that you come here and you don't want to be a public speaker, and that you want us to move on, to really grow, to really get your word in our hearts and to change lives.
Thank you. Thank you, beloved. Yeah, and I want to do it with you. I'm not saying I arrived and I'm not going on the trip with you. We're growing together. And that's the great part. It's kind of like, let's go. Ready? On your marks, get set, go. Let's do this.
I'd like to run it by
What? We want to hear you. Did you hear the one about? No.
I just thought it was so cute when she said, "Are you going to put it on voicemail or are you going to answer the call?"
Oh, coming out of meditation, huh? Yeah, you can answer the call, you can let it go to voicemail. Last thoughts. Yes, beloved, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good.
Pauline, reflecting the Olympic spirit, did you happen to catch when on one of the cross-country skiing events, a Russian skier's left ski broke, but he was still trying to keep going, and I don't know where his coach was, but a Canadian coach standing there had an extra ski, and he gave it to the Russian skier, which was so sweet.
Yes.
And so just the epitome of what we want to see.
Absolutely. There is no us and them. There is simply the life that God is. Thank you for that. Yes, absolutely. You know, when we become each other's cheerleader and we want each other to win, you know, and we cheer each other on, or here's a ski, you know, here's a ski for you. Go ahead and complete what you're here to do. Here's a microphone. Here's a baton. So we've come to that part of our evening where I get to really share my gratitude for all those folks who have come tonight and have been of service. From our ushers, thank you so much, Melissa and Dennis and Nicolette. Thank you so much for your service as our ushers tonight. Want to thank Ed in our sound booth for his service tonight, and Tim behind the camera. Thank you so much for your service. Wanted to thank Ginny. She's our coordinator, and she makes sure that everything runs smoothly. You know, we have practitioners here at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, and our practitioners have gone through much training, and their job is to know the truth, even beyond what it appears that it might be. And they just go beyond that, and they know the truth. Right where we are, God is. And that's what they do, and they get to have a prayerful spot for us in their hearts. So if you find that you would like prayer, or that you want to write down a prayer or have a prayer tonight, our two practitioners are going to be available in the chapel immediately after service. If you'd like a prayer for us to just kind of handwrite a prayer for you or send it to you, or just for us to keep you in prayer, we also have a prayer box in the back. Please fill out the form and know that the ministers and practitioners here at Seaside will lovingly hold you in prayer and know the truth for you. And representing our practitioner corps on the podium this evening was Candace Young-Schultz. Thank you so much for your consciousness. And in the back we have Dave Kennedy, who's been holding the high watch for us. He's been back there just in this meditative state, knowing the perfect unfoldment of our service today. And so thank you so much for your service and your consciousness and your dedication. And these two individuals will be available for prayer after service. And then, of course, our music ministry. You know, we got Cole Miller on the percussion aspect of life, Jim Bianchi on piano, Sunny Daye, marvelous vocals. Thank you so much. Want to let you know a couple of things. Next week, I know many of you have been coming to Wednesdays for a long time, and many of us have been very fond of Reverend Tammy. So the gift next week is that Reverend Tammy is going to be delivering our message next week. So want y'all to show up thick. You know, want you to show up thick, spread the word. Reverend Tammy's coming, and that she's going to be delivering our message for us next week. And all month long, I know that as a greater spiritual community, we've been into the book Real Love. I know that there's some small work groups that are available. There's some books available in the bookstore. And the last Wednesday of this month, Reverend James is going to be coming out. He's done a lot of work with Greg Bear, and he knows this book inside out. I know he's done a workshop here. So he's going to be with us here in a couple of weeks to really hone in on our real love. And then I'll be back with us again the first Wednesday in March, and we have a treat for you, so you want to make sure you're back with bells on and that you've been coming, because I'm going to take attendance while I'm gone through live streaming. Be like, You'll take it for me, Sonny? Sonny will be here, so yeah. So she'll take attendance for me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. No, we want to definitely continue our road. It's not about the messenger, it's about the message, and it's about our growth and unfoldment. So we want to be here every Wednesday night as much as we possibly can to grow and unfold. Yeah, and Sonny's bringing her mama with her to sing. Yeah, Wendy Barnes is going to be with us in the next 2 weeks, and so she'll be here. And speaking of Wendy, Sonny just released her brand new single. It's called Under One Sky. Yes, it's amazing. We wrote it together, but she sings it. You know what I mean? It's marvelous. You'll have a chance to hear it after service, and the CDs will be available after service tonight as well. We pray in song. So please rise. Join us in the family room for some hugs and some strawberries and some fellowship, and let's sing our prayer. For those of you who are new, welcome, and it's in your bulletin.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
Good night, everyone. Let's see you in the family room.
Knowing there's a place for us where we can all be free.